right? Okay, so these are got to do with perpendicular distance. Okay, write down the equation of a line that's perpendicular. Okay, so I just did this at the yesterday's class. Okay, so a perpendicular line is, what you do is you swap the x and y coefficients and change the sign of y, right? Okay, so that means it's 4x plus 3y plus any number, plus or minus any number, right? Okay, so plus c equals 0, right? Write down the any line that is perpendicular. Yeah, now find the equation of the two lines which are perpendicular to the line that, and the perpendicular distance to 1 1, so there's my point, 1 1, and the perpendicular distance, they're telling me the answer is 4. Alright, okay, so it's ax1 plus by1 plus c, take the positive value of that, all over the square root of a squared plus b squared. So it's the positive value of 4 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus c, all over the square root of 4 squared plus 3 squared, and we know the answer. The answer is going to be 4. Is that okay? So that would be, sorting out above the line, that would be 4 plus 3 is 7 plus c. Underneath the line, that becomes the square root of 25, which is 5 equals 4. Is that okay, what I did there? I just did it all in one go. Cross multiply, so you get 7 plus c equals 20. Get rid of that modulus, right, square both sides. So square that side, square this side. So you get 49 plus 14c plus c squared equals 400. Everything over to the left, so you've c squared plus 14c plus, minus, yeah, 49 minus 351 equals 0. Two sets of brackets, c and c, 27 and 13, and a plus and a minus. So let each bracket equal 0. You get c equals minus 27 and c equals, that's right. C is equal to plus, So my two equations, I'll write them over here, are 4x plus 3y minus 27 equals 0. And the other one is 4x plus 3y plus 13 equals 0. Is that okay? And that was the question, was it? Find the equations of the two lines. Yeah, is that okay? Right, are we good? Sorry, there's a bit at the end. Okay? Number 15 is next. Am I doing 15? Yeah, right, okay. You can tell me when you're ready. Are we good? Yeah, going, gone. No one's shouting at me, so I'll take that as we're all fine. I am recording this, yes. Right, okay. So number 15, write down the equation of any line through the point minus 4, 2. Okay, so we don't know the slope, right? But the equation of a line is y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. I can't fill in slope because they haven't told me what the slope is, but I can fill in for x1 and y1. Okay, so that's y minus 2 equals m into x minus 4. Agreed? Okay, multiply out y minus 2 equals mx plus 4m Okay, and we normally have an x term, y term number equals 0. So we have minus mx plus y minus 2 minus 4m equals 0, and that's the equation of the line. Okay, we can't fill in anymore because we don't have the slope, so we can't fill it in, right? Okay, hence find the equation of two lines through the point minus 4, 2. So that means they have this general equation, right, whose perpendicular distance from the origin is 2. So there's the equation, right, as best I can manage. It's perpendicular distance to the origin, and the answer is 2. Okay, so fill in, take the positive value of minus m times 0 plus 0 minus 2 minus 4m, positive value, all over the square root of the number in front of x, which is minus m to be squared, plus the number in front of y, which is 1 to be squared, and I know the answer is going to be 2. Is that okay? So just filling in for x and y. X is 0, y is 0, right, and this is a is minus m, and b is the number in front of y, which is 1. Okay, are we good? Right, sorting out what I can there. Okay, so above the line, that's 0, so I'm just left with minus 2 minus 4m above the line. Right, below the line, I'm left with the square root of m squared plus 1. And I know the answer is 2. Okay, I'm going to cross multiply. So I'll get minus 2 minus 4m. Yeah, can I? Minus 2 minus 4m equals 2 times the square root of m squared plus 1. So I need to get rid of that modulus sign. I also need to get rid of the square root sign, so I need to square both sides. So squaring that side, squaring that side. Okay, squaring here, square the first 4, twice the first by the second is 16m, 2 4s are 8 by 2 is 16. Right, square the last is plus 16m squared. Over here, square the 2, you get 4. Square the square root of m squared plus 1, you just get m squared plus 1. Okay, multiplying out and tidying it up. So I'm going to multiply out and tidy it up at the same time, if that's alright. So 16m squared minus 4m squared will give me 12m squared. Then I have a plus 16m, and then I have a plus 4 over here, and I have plus 4 over here. When it comes over, it becomes a minus 4, so the numbers disappear. Is that alright? That I just skip on down to the end. Is that alright? So I multiplied out and tidied it up at the same time. Are we okay? Right, to solve this, right, I'm going to divide across by 4 because it makes life easier. Right, plus 4m. To solve these, you take out what's common. So there's an m common. Have I cut anyone off if I do that? Right, there's an m common, so m is into 3m plus 4 equals 0. You let each bracket equal 0, so you get m is equal to 0, or 3m plus 4 equals 0. So that means m is equal to minus 4 over 3. Are we okay with that? So I have two values for the slope. Now they asked me for the equations of the lines. So all I have to do is go back to my general equation here. So my general equation was minus mx plus y minus 2 minus 4m equals 0. So if I fill in m equals 0, I'll get my first, because m could be 0. So that's minus 0 times x plus y minus 2 minus 4 times 0 equals 0. And when I sort out all that, I just get y minus 2 equals 0. That's the equation of one line. Okay? Then m could also be equal to minus 4 over 3, which I've just rubbed out. minus 4 over 3. So everywhere I see an m, put in a minus 4 over 3. So it's minus 4 over 3 times x plus y minus 2 minus 4 times minus 4 over 3 equals 0. That's 4 over 3x plus y, that's minus 2 plus 16 over 3. So minus 2 would be minus 6 over 3 plus 16 over 3 is plus 10 over 3 when I put those together. Calculator job. Okay, get a common denominator because you wouldn't leave it with your fractions. 3 into 3 goes once, 1 by 4x. 1 into 3 goes 3 times 3 by y, and 3 into 3 goes once, equals 0. I've evened up both sides, drop your common denominator, there's my equation. 4x plus 3y plus 10 equals 0. Is that okay? So, sorry? No, you can drop the 3 because the 3 was just to even up both sides. There's an equal sign, so I've evened up both sides, so you can drop the 3. Are we good with that? There's my two equations. Yes. Yes. Right, okay, then on the next page we had right, 1 part 2 and 3, was it? 1 part 2 and 3, 2, 6, 7, yeah? Okay, does anyone need me to do any bit of number 1? 1 part 2 and 3, any bit of number 1? No? Right, number 2, anyone? No. Number 6? We're all good? Excellent. Number 7, anyone? Number 7? All good? Excellent. Right, okay, yes.
When you're getting your final answers, generally it's like data plus minus. You know, when you get that like a negative 30, like
Yeah, just ignore, when we get to trigonometry, I'll explain what the negative means. But for the moment, just ignore the negative sign and just take the acute angle is 30. So therefore the obtuse angle would be 180, take away 30. Is that alright? So just ignore the minuses for the moment. When we get to trig, we'll understand what they're about. Okay? But we really don't need to know anything about them in this chapter. Right? Excuse me. Right, girls, the next section, there's nothing new in it. Right? It is just using graphs to solve problems, okay? So we have graphs of lines to solve problems, okay? And there's nothing new to teach you, so I'm just going to do a couple of the examples, right? A couple of the questions in the book, right? Okay, and then we will, I'll leave you off to do a few, and if anything crops up, we can iron it out. Is that all right? Okay, and this is the end of this chapter, right? My plan for next week is you're doing tests from Friday, isn't it? So on Monday, Tuesday, I'll do exam questions on coordinate geometry, right? And Wednesday, Thursday, we'll go back and look at those algebra questions I gave you to revise and anything else that comes up. Is that all right? Okay, so I won't be starting anything else before Christmas. Okay, right. So let's look at question 1. Will you see, these are, dare I say easy, but yeah, something always comes up that's not easy when I say that, so I won't say it. Right, okay, can you see? Focus. Maybe move it down. Okay, I need a ruler. And I need a biro. They say this is the one I used. Yes, it is. Right, okay. So, the linear graph just means it's a line. Right, you all know linear graph, line. That's where the word linear means. Right, below shows the relationship between degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. So you can see from the graph, degrees Celsius is on the y-axis, degrees Fahrenheit is on the x-axis. Use your graph to convert approximately 35. Also, always remember graphs are approximate, right? If you want accurate algebra, right, graphs are approximate unless you've used a computer to draw the graph, okay? Right, so graphs are approximate, right? So we know we've 35 degrees Celsius, so we have the Celsius and we want Fahrenheit. So I start at 35 on which axis? Where's the Celsius? It's on the y-axis. So I go to 35 on the y-axis. I draw a line across to hit the graph. Okay, I draw a line down where it hits the graph and I read off the approximate answer. Right, so the approximate answer would be 95. Is that okay? We all happy with that? The next one is change 15 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Again, I'm starting with Celsius. So where will I start on the y-axis or the x-axis? Y-axis again. You go to 15 on the y-axis, right? So 15 on the y-axis is here. Draw a line across, hit the graph, right? Draw a line down at the point where it hits the graph and read off your answer. So I'm looking at somewhere between 55 and 60, 57. Okay, is that alright? Are we all happy with that? Right, 50 degrees, so this time they're telling me Fahrenheit, I have to change it to Celsius. So that means I'm starting on, where do I find the 50? The x-axis or the y-axis? X-axis, go to 50, draw a line up, draw a line across, read off your answer, and I think I'm looking at 10. Is that alright? So I'm looking at 10. Is that okay? And finally, 100 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So where will I find 100 degrees Fahrenheit? X-axis or y-axis? X-axis. So go to 100 on the x-axis. Draw a line up until you hit the graph. Hit the graph. Draw a line across. And read off your approximate answer. Okay? So I might say 48, or sorry, 38 even, right? 38, is that okay? Someone else might say 37, will be, and it's still correct, okay? Right, it's an approximate answer. Are we good with that? Right, easy peasy, yeah? Yeah, right. Use the 2 mark points on the graph, okay? So the 2 mark points on the graph, so the first point is 5010, that was marked, and this one was marked, was it 95? I don't know where are the mark points. Use the 2 mark points. Was that marked? Because that's a stupid point. Because it's you see, I have so many scribbles now in my graph I can't see. 95, 35. 95, 35. Right, 50, 10. Right, use those 2 points to get the equation of the line. So how would you get the equation of the line from the 2 points? What would you have to get first? Slope. And then use one of the points, and y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. Grand? Yeah. Use the equation you have above to convert 95 degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. So they're telling you Celsius. Is Celsius x or y? Celsius x or y? Y, isn't it? So Celsius is y, so that means instead of y, you would put in 95 and solve for x. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah? Okay, so are we good with that? Do you know, I'll just talk about the second one, but yeah, it's draw a graph, and yeah. Do you remember how to draw a graph using your calculators? Right, I'll remind you. Right, okay. You really only need 2 points because they're lines, but I'm going to remind you anyway. Right, C is in euros 20 plus 4m. Right, okay. Where m is the number of square meters of carpet cleaned, draw a straight line of this relationship, plotting m on the horizontal axis. So is m would be x, agreed? So m is on the horizontal axis, so m is x and C is y. Right, now you only need to get 2 points in the graph because it's a line. Right, okay, so C is y and m is x. I don't know why this buyer decides not to write. Okay, right? So C is Y and M is X. So that's really Y equals 20 plus 4X, right? Is that okay? So that's really Y equals 20 plus 4X. Would you agree? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so calculator, where's my calculator? Right, okay, remember how to draw graphs. You know it says draw it in the domain 0 to 80, right? Okay, 0 to 80, right? Okay, so you change you press menu, you change it to table. Now you might have the old calculators, I have the new. So table is number 3 in mine. I don't know what it is in yours. Do it with me. Okay, right. Then it tells you f of x equals, remember f of x is another way of saying what letter? Y. So y equals 20 plus 4x. Are we good with that? 20 plus 4x. So 20 plus 4, and you get the x, it's the red over the closed bracket, so it's alpha and the closed bracket will get you the x up. Is that alright? Do you remember this? Right, then you press equals for enter. Right, this is the new calculators give you an option to put in a second function. I don't want a second function, so I'm just going to enter past that. Then the next one will be start, so I'm starting at 0. Right, okay, so I'm starting at 0, and what's the end? So enter, what's the end? 80, isn't it? Now, right, in Junior Cert it was always step 1, we never changed the step. But if I leave it on step 1, it'll give me 0, 20, 1, it'll give me 80 points in my table, right? So I don't want 80 points. Right, so I'm going to change my step to 10. So that means it's going to give me 0 something, 10 something, 20 something, 30 something, 40 something. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, because if I leave it in steps 1, I'll get my points will be 0, 0 something, 1 something, 2 something, 3 something, all the way up to 80 something, and I don't want to be plotting 80 points. Right? Okay, so I'm going to change the step to 10. Is that alright? Okay, and then just enter and you'll get up your table, right? Okay, so I have 0, 20, 10, 60, I think it is, I can't see, 10, 60, 20, 100, 30, 40, right? I really only need 2 points, okay, but I just thought I'd remind you how to draw graphs using your calculator. Is that alright? Okay, you really only need 2 points because it's a straight line. Okay, are we good with that? Are we good with drawing a graph? I don't need to draw it, do I? Do I? No. Right, okay, so you could also get your 2 points manually by letting x equal 0 and getting a point, right? Let x equal 0 get a point, and then let x equal 10 and get a point, right? Or x equals 80 and get a point. Do you know what I mean? So you could just get your 2 points out manually, but I just thought I'd remind you how to draw it on the calculator, right? Then the cost of cleaning 75 meters squared. So that's area, so that's meters squared is the x, isn't it? So you go to 75 on the x, go up, hit the line, go across. Yeah? Right. The number of square meters of carpet that can be cleaned for 200 euros. C is the y, so you go to 200 on the y, go across, hit the graph, go down, read off your answer, yes? Okay. Use the formula, there's my formula, okay, to find the cost of cleaning 105 meters squared of carpet. So fill in 105 for M, job done. Right, are we happy with those questions? Right, okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is, let's do 3, 4 and 5 for homework. Right, okay, so page 169, 3, 4 and 5, and if anything crops up in it, we can iron it out on Monday. So page 169, 3, 4 and 5. Do we need pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, Brent.